The world of dinosaur discovery has evolved over the years. Gone are the days with one dinosaur representing the whole family, to multitudes of branching species from all over the world. But as new discoveries were made, we come across some strange ones. Dinosaurs that look so bizarre and alien-like, you swear they're made up. And I'm going to list my top 10 choices for the most bizarre dinosaurs ever and explain what makes them this special. Let's get this one out from the start. At number 10 is a dinosaur common in these lists, and that is the Therizinosaurs. And really, what has not been said about it already? From its unusual posture that closely matches the old tribot restorations, the potbelly look, and most famously the unnecessary giant claws for a herbivore that gave it nicknames like Wolverine or Freddy Krueger of the dinosaurs. And I put it at number 10 because its novelty has been waned over the years, and it became an easy answer on lists such as these. Strange one, but we saw enough of it already. It's a common fact birds evolved from dinosaurs. If you look at an ostrich's wings, for example, it looks like a dinosaur hand complete with claws. So, it makes a dinosaur like the Mononechus a strange case since it doesn't have real hands. It's just a single finger with a claw, making a case of a dinosaur with a semi-wing instead of hands with feathers. But that's not the strangest one, because at number 9, we have the Linnaeus. The Mononechus at least got functioning arms with defined elbows. The Linnaeus on the other hand doesn't look like it got any arms, they look like claws poking out of its body. The Carnotaurus is often listed as one of the most bizarre looking dinosaurs with its weird boxy head, horns, and tiny arms. But I think for number 8, I choose its cousin, the Majungasaurus, to be the weirder one. Just like with the Linnaeus, the arms of the Majungasaurus are as small, if not smaller than the Carnotaurus. The Carnotaurus had defined digits, but the Majungasaurus' digits aren't. Some illustrations even show its arms as fingerless thumbs. In some way, the Majungasaurus got literal sausage limbs. Oh, but that's not all here. While the Carnotaurus had these intimidating looking horns on its head, the Majungasaurus had this tiny single little horn on its head that is so easy to miss the first time. Look how tiny it is! Does it even have a function? As Olaf would say, it's like a baby unicorn. The sauropods were the largest creatures to walk on land. You look at them and you feel overwhelmed by their size and majestic presence. Unfortunately, that's not what you're getting from this one, because at number 7, we have the Nigersaurus. This sauropod looks awkward to say the least, with its stumpy limbs, its stumpy neck that barely reaches the ground level, and then you look at it from the front and see this face. It's like someone stuck a hadrosaur head on a sauropod. And you take a closer look and notice the teeth looking like two straight combs. Some people call it a dinosaur hippopotamus, and I think this is an accurate description. The Ceratopsian family is known for the wide variety of its horny members that I found it a little challenging to pick one bizarre example. You have the Diabloceratops with its extra long frill horns, the Eniasaurus with its hooked horn that you could use as a bottle opener, the Pachyrhinosaurus with a tree stump on its face instead of a horn, but I decided for number 6 to be the Cosmoceratops. While not the oddest looking of the bunch, I choose this one due to the questionable functionality of its horns. Let's look at it a bit closer. First you have the brow horns. Instead of pointing forward, they point sideways. They might be useful for side attacks, but I don't think it's going to work on a predator charging head-on. Then you have the frill horns. The frill serves as extra protection, preventing predators from easily getting to the neck. Now the little horns on the side are fine, but the top portion is where I try to understand how they work, as they point inward to the frill instead of outward. And I'd imagine a predator biting that part only for them to puncture the frill instead of the predator's teeth, defeating their purpose as protection. And now you understand why the Cosmoceratops is the choice here. Its horns are confusing. At number 5, I placed the Spinosaurs. This is a dinosaur that can't catch a break on determining what it looked like. First it was depicted as an allosaur with a Dimetrodon's tail, then it was the same but with a crocodilian head, then they gave it shorter legs thinking it walked on all four, then they went back and made it sorta bipedal. But assuming this is its final change, and even that's doubtful, it's still bizarre looking compared to normal dinosaurs. You have the crested crocodilian head, the snake-like neck that is uncommon to large theropods, the elongated torso, the sail that now looks like bacterian camel hump, and the shorter back legs makes it even more strange looking. And don't get me started on those feather designs that makes it look like a giant pelican than a giant crocodile. For the next entry, it might look a little too silly for you, so I suggest you hold your drink for a bit because at number 4, we have the Incisivosaurus and its silly buck teeth. Yes, a dinosaur with cartoony looking buck teeth. It's even sillier when it's restored as an avian, so now it looks like the birds in cartoons. If you took them out, it'll look like a regular dinosaur, but these rodent teeth are what makes this one so special. The Stegosaurus is one of the most iconic dinosaurs in the world. For its time, it was seen as one of the more stranger looking ones with its back plates and tail spikes, aka thagomizers. So for number 3, I pick its Chinese cousin, the Gigantspinosaurus. It's a stegosaur with giant spikes on its shoulders. And when I say giant, I mean giant. So which is worse, to get struck by the small tail spikes, or impaled by the larger shoulder spikes? Either way, they look more useful and dangerous than Cosmoceratops' horns. And on number 2, we have a tiny creature with amazing proportions, and it's the Epidexceptorix. This little guy is like the love child of a bird and a monkey. Not only does it have extremely long arms for its body, but it got extremely long and thin fingers, making it an excellent tree climber with the ability to dig for grubs like the modern day Ai. I've seen some illustrations depicting leathery wings making it like a bat, but I'm skeptical about them because they make it look like some sort of pterosaur than a dinosaur. Then you go for the back and see the most unusual dinosaur tail. Dinosaurs are known for having long tails in comparison to their main body, but the Epidexceptorix's tail is different. It's a very short tail, making it closely resembling modern-day birds. But that's not the most impressive thing about it. Epidexceptorix's fossils were discovered to have 4 very long feathers attached to the tail, making it like an ancient pheasant or peacock. Epidexceptorix. It's a bird? It's a monkey? No, it's an amazing-looking dinosaur. And for number 1, the dinosaur I always thought to be one of the unusual ones, and it's none other than the Deinocheirus. Before the Therizinosaurs, the Deinocheirus was the one with the mysterious arms. For a long time, it was thought it belonged to a carnivore, but the dinosaur turned out to be a giant ornithomimosaur, the largest of the ostrich dinosaur family. To describe this one, it's like if you take an ostrich, a camel, and a duck and put them in a blender. It's bulky compared to the regular ornithomimus. It got this giant hump on the back that one time I joked if this was discovered earlier, it would be the camel in the Flintstones world. And then you look at the head, and yes, all I see here is a duck. A giant duck. And the ironic part here, it looks more like a duck than the dinosaurs dubbed the duck-billed dinosaurs. Wonder if they quacked as well. Now that's a surreal image in my mind. And that's why this is my choice for the number 1 most bizarre dinosaur ever. The giant duck of doom. And these were my choices for the most bizarre dinosaurs discovered by the time of making this video. What are your personal choices? Are there any bizarre looking dinosaurs not mentioned on this list? Comment down below with your answers. This was SHINOBI-03, and I'll see you next time.